Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So this is the second video of the chapter matrices, and in this video we will be discussing about the different operation of matrices. That is, we will learn how to do addition, subtraction and multiplication of matrices along with their properties. So let's start. So first let us see how to do the addition or subtraction of matrices. Now in order to do the addition or subtraction of matrices, two things are important to be known. First thing is that the order of the matrices should be same. And the second thing is that whenever we add or subtract two matrices, we always do it with the corresponding elements of both the matrices. Now suppose I take a matrix A, and this matrix is of order 2 by 2. Okay, now if I want to add another matrix to this, or if I want to subtract a matrix from this, then that other matrix also should be of the same order. That is, the other matrix should also be of the order 2 by 2. That is why the second matrix that I have taken is also of order 2 by 2. And now I'm going to add both the matrices as well as subtract and check what's the answer. So first let us add the matrices and see how to do it. So first thing is that the order of the matrices should be same, and that step is verified because in this case both the matrices are of order 2 by 2. So now when I do A plus B, that is, I'm adding both these matrices, and when I'm adding it I have to add the corresponding elements. So first step is, now here the next that is the final matrix also will be of the same order, that is 2 by 2. Okay, when we add or subtract two matrices. So first thing is we are going to add the corresponding elements. So this 2 will be added to 5. Okay, and this becomes 2 plus 5. Then this 4 will be added to this 4. 4 plus 4. This 3 will be added to this 1. 3 plus 1. And this 6 is going to be added to this 2. 6 plus 2. And this final matrix will also be of the order 2 by 2. So this will result, and this becomes 7, 8, 4, 8, and this is also of the order 2 by 2. So this is how we add two matrices. So first step is that you have to check whether both the matrices have got the same order. So in this case both the matrices were of order 2 by 2. So the final, that is the resultant matrix, will also be of the order 2 by 2. And that is how we add the two matrices. Now let us subtract and check how to do it. Now let us do A minus B. Okay, so first let me write the matrix A. Now matrix A is 2, 4, 3, 6 minus matrix B, that is 5, 4, 1, 2. Now when I do it, I have to subtract the corresponding elements. So this becomes 2 minus 5. This 2, this 5 will be subtracted from this 2. Okay, this 5 is going to be subtracted from this 2. So this becomes 2 minus 5. Then this becomes 4 minus 4. Then this 3 and 1, we have to find the difference. This 1 will be subtracted from this 3. So this becomes 3 minus 1. And here comes 6 minus 2. And this matrix will also be of the order 2 by 2. So the final result will be minus 3, 0, 2, 4. So as you can see, this matrix is also of the order 2 by 2. So that is how we do the addition or the subtraction of two matrices. Now let us see what are some of the properties of the addition of matrices. So the first one is commutative law. Now as you have read in your earlier classes also, that in commutative law, the matrix, suppose there are two matrices A and B. Now the addition of matrix A plus B will be equal to B plus A. So if you add them in any of the order, in case of addition it will be same. So if you add matrices A plus B, it will equal to the addition of matrix B plus A. Okay, and that is what it is written in the statement also. Suppose if matrix A has got some element Aij. Now we have learned this concept of Aij in our previous video. and the matrix B has got the element Bij. Now here I is the row and J is the column. We know that. So these are the two matrices and they have got the same order. Suppose their order is M by N. They have got the same order. Only then they can be added or subtracted. So in this case we are talking about the addition of matrices. So A plus B will be equal to B plus A. Now what is the associative law? See, in associative law you just have to know this, that A plus B, when you add matrices A plus B and then the final result if you add it to the matrix C, that will be equal to the RHS, that is when you add matrix B and C, and whatever the result is you add to the matrix A. So the addition of matrices obeys the associative law also, and that is how they have written here in statement also, that suppose there are three matrices A, B and C, let us say, and these are the elements Aij, Bij and Cij, and they have got the same order. So this same order is also important. Their order is M cross N, that is the same order. Okay, now the third one is the additive identity. Now what happens in this is that, check this statement. Suppose there is a matrix A and this is matrix O. Now this matrix O is a zero matrix. Now in our previous videos also I have told you about the zero matrix. It has got only element 0. Okay, the order of matrix can be anything. It can either be 2 by 2 or 3 by 3 or 2 by 3, anything. Just all the elements of that matrix should be 0. That is called as a zero matrix. So when you add a zero matrix to a particular matrix, suppose here the matrix is A. So if you add a zero matrix to that matrix A in this form or like this, the final answer will be the matrix A itself. Okay, like suppose you've got this matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, and you add the matrix, the null matrix to this, or the zero matrix you call it. So when you add it, the final answer will be 1, 2, 3 and 4. That is, the final answer will be your matrix A itself. So that is called as the additive identity law. And here the null matrix, that is matrix O, is called the additive identity for the matrix addition. Okay, so here the null matrix is called as the additive identity for the matrix addition, because whenever you add this null matrix to any other matrix, the final answer will be that particular matrix itself. Now let us see the next one, that is additive inverse. Now what happens in this additive inverse is that if you add a matrix to the negative of that matrix in either this way or in this manner, then the final result will be a null matrix or a zero matrix. Now what do you mean by negative of matrix? Suppose there is a matrix A that has got elements 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now if I want to find the negative of this matrix, suppose if I want to find minus A, which is called as a negative of this matrix, so I just have to multiply minus to all these elements of A, and this becomes minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and minus 4. So I have basically multiplied that minus 1 to all the elements of that A matrix, and I've got the negative of that matrix. So this is called as a negative of matrix. So when you add a matrix to its negative of a matrix, then what you get is that the final result will be a null matrix or a zero matrix. Okay, so if you add these two matrices, you can see that the final result will be a zero matrix. And here the minus A part, that is the negative of a matrix, is the additive inverse of A, or you can say it is the negative of A. Okay, so here minus A is the additive inverse of A or the negative of A. Okay, so now let us talk about the multiplication of matrices. Now first of all we'll talk about how we multiply a matrix by a scalar quantity, that is when you multiply a matrix by a constant number. Okay, suppose we have got two matrices, suppose A and B, and I'm adding both of the matrix and I'm multiplying it with 2. Okay, 2 is the number. I have to multiply the addition of, or you can see the final resultant matrix with 2. So when I do this, this can be equal to 2 multiplied by matrix A plus 2 multiplied by matrix B. Okay, see, suppose I've got a matrix A which is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and matrix B is equal to 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, these are our two matrices. Now what am I doing is I have to multiply 2 with the addition of A plus B. Okay, now this can be done as 2 into matrix A plus 2 into matrix B. That is when I multiply 2 with matrix A. Matrix A is 1, 2, 3, 4, and I add, and then I multiply 2 with matrix B. B is 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I add both of them. So this becomes 2 will be multiplied with all these numbers inside, all the elements. So when I do 2 plus 1, this becomes 2. 2 plus 2, it becomes 4. 2 plus 3, yeah, sorry, not plus, it's multiplying. So 2 ones are 2, and then 2 twos are 4, and then this 2 multiplied by this 3, 2 threes are 6, and 2 fours are 8. Okay, so it's like a basic multiplication only. We are just whenever they ask us to multiply a constant number with a whole matrix, we have to multiply all the elements of that matrix with that particular number. So that is what I've done. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 threes are 6, and 2 fours are 8. Now here also I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to multiply all the elements of this matrix B with 2, and this becomes 2 fours are 8, 2 threes are 6, 2 twos are 4, 2 ones are 2. Okay, and now I'm going to add both of these matrix and I'll get the final answer. So this is what I get when I add these two matrix. So this is my RHS side. Now what was my LHS side? This was my LHS. Okay, now if I do my LHS also, suppose if I multiply 2 after I add both of the matrices, and I've added the matrix A and B. So I have to do 1 plus 4. Okay, I'm adding the corresponding elements over here. So 1 plus 4, then 2 plus 3, 3 plus 2, and 4 plus 1. So when I do this, what I get is I get 5, 5, 5, and 5. And when I multiply this 2 with all the elements of this final matrix, I get 10, 10, 10, and 10. Okay, this is my final matrix. So as you can see, the LHS is equal to RHS. So that is what is satisfied. So that is what they're saying over here, that suppose if there is a matrix A that has got the elements Aij, and there's a matrix B with elements Bij, and these are two matrices which have got the same order, only then we can add, or they have got same order. Okay, because only then we can add. Here we have to add it, and then we are multiplying it with a constant, right? So they have got the same order, m by n. And suppose k and l here are two constant, or you can say they are two scalars. Okay, like suppose here I took 2. 2 is my k, just assume it. So when I have multiplied this constant k with the addition of this matrix, it can even be written as k, that is the constant multiplied with matrix A, and then the constant multiplied with matrix B. So that is what I've done over here. Suppose here my k was 2, and that is what I've done here. I've satisfied this thing that LHS is equal to RHS. Similarly, if I have got two constants k and l, then when I add k plus l and then I multiply the final thing with the matrix A, it can even be done as multiplying the first constant with matrix A and the second constant with matrix B. So that is the properties of a scalar multiplication. Now let us see how we multiply directly two matrices. Okay, so let us see how to multiply two matrices. Now, when we were doing the addition or the subtraction of two matrices, one thing that was very important to note was that both the matrices should have the same order. But in this case, when we multiply the two matrices, the first and foremost step that we have to check is whether the columns of the first matrix, suppose here the first matrix is A and the second matrix is B. Now why am I saying first and second matrix is because when you multiply A cross B, it will not be equal to the multiplication of B cross A. So whichever matrix you take first will change the result. Okay, when your A matrix is the first matrix and when your B matrix is the first matrix, the results will be different. Okay, A cross B will never be equal to B cross A in case of multiplication of matrices. So first thing that you have to check is that whether the columns of the first matrix is equal to the rows of the second matrix. Now here the rows of the second matrix is 2. Now when you check, the columns of the first matrix, that is A, is equal to the rows of the second matrix, that is B. Now you know that when you write the order 3 by 2, this refers to the rows and this refers to the columns. Okay, so this is the columns of the first matrix and this is the rows of the second matrix. So as you can see here, both are 2, that is the columns of the first matrix is equal to the rows of the second matrix. Now only when this step is verified, only then you can proceed for the multiplication of matrices. Now if the step is not verified, that is if the columns of the first matrix is not equal to the rows of the second matrix, then the addition of the two matrices is not possible. So this first step is very important, only then you can proceed with the multiplication of those two matrices. Okay, now next step what we have to do basically is we are going to multiply the rows and columns. Okay, now first of all in this we are going to take the rows. Okay, this is the first row, this is the second row and this is the third row. Now these rows are going to be multiplied with the columns of the second matrix. Now this is the first column in this matrix, this is the second column and this is the third column. So we are going to multiply this rows of the first matrix with the columns of the second matrix. Okay, now how we are going to do that? Okay, so now first of all what we are going to do is we are going to take this first row, row 1, and we are going to multiply this first row with all the three columns of this matrix P. Then we will take the second row of this matrix, that is row 2, and then we will multiply it with all the three columns of matrix P. And then we will take the third row and similarly we will multiply with all the three columns of the matrix P. And when you do that, you're going to multiply the corresponding elements. Okay, now I'll show you how to do it. Suppose now let us take the first row, start with the first row. Okay, now this first row of matrix A has got elements 2 and 1. Now this row first will multiply with the first column of B. Okay, this is the column 1, column 2 and column 3. Now when I multiply this first row with the first column, I multiply 2 with 1. Okay, I'll multiply 2 with 1. Then I'm going to add this and then I multiply this 1 with this minus 1. Okay, so basically what I've done is that when I took the row and when I took the column, I have multiplied the first element of this row with the first element of this column. Okay, and then I have multiplied the second element of this row with the second element of this column. Okay, now when I solve this, this will lead to the first element. When I solve this, this will lead to the first element of our final resultant matrix. Now I'm going to multiply this first row with the second column of matrix P. Okay, now when I do that, I'm going to multiply the first element, that is 2, with the first element of this column, that is 0. Then I'm going to add it and then I'm going to multiply this first element of this row, the second element of this row, that is 1, with the second element of this column, that is 2. Okay, so always I'm multiplying the first element with the first element, the second element with the second element, okay, of the rows and columns. So this will give me the second element of this final matrix. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this row again with the third column of matrix P. And again I'm going to multiply the first element with the first element and the second element with the second element. So I'll multiply this 2, that is the first element of that row, with the first element of this third column. Third column's first element is 1. And then I'm going to put a plus sign. Then I'll multiply the second element of this first row, that is 1, with the second element of this third column, that is 1. Okay, so with this we have got our first column layer. Now I'm going to take the second row and I'm going to multiply with all the three columns over here. Okay, and again I'm going to do the same thing, that is first element will be multiplied with the first element and the second element will be multiplied with the second element. So here the first element in this row 2 is 3 and the second element in this second row is 2. So first of all I'm going to take this row 2 and multiply with the first column. So the first element of this is 3. I'll multiply with the first element of the column 1, that is 1. So 3 will be multiplied with 1. I'll put a plus symbol. Then I'll multiply this element 2 with the second element of the first column. So 2 will be multiplied with minus 1. Now I'm going to multiply the second row with the second column of matrix P. First element will be multiplied with the first one, second one will be multiplied with the second one. So first element of this second row is 3. This will be multiplied with the first element of the column. So first element of the second column is 2. I'm going to put a plus sign. So I have to put a plus sign how many elements are there, like that. And then this second element, that is 2, will be multiplied with the second element of the column 2. 2 multiplied by 2. Now I'm going to multiply the second row with the third column of matrix P. So this first element, that is 3, will be multiplied with the first element of this column, that is 1. The second element 2 will be multiplied with the second element of this column, that is 1, and in between a plus symbol will be there. Okay. Now comes the third layer. Now this is the third row. Now this third row will be multiplied with the first column, second column and the third column of matrix P. Okay, now let's start with the first column. So this minus 1, that is the first element, will be multiplied with the first element of that column 1. So minus 1 multiplied by plus 1, and then in between a plus symbol will come. Then this 1 will be multiplied with the second element. Since this one is the second element, it will be multiplied with the second element of this first column, that is 1 will be multiplied by minus 1. Now let me multiply this third row with the second column. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is I'm multiplying all the rows one by one with all the 3 columns. Okay, now I'm multiplying this third row with the second column, and then I'll multiply this third row with the third column. Okay, so when I multiply this row 3 with the column 2, it will come over here, and when I multiply this row 3 with the column 3, the elements will come here. So let me multiply. So now this is the first element minus 1. It will be multiplied with the first element of second column. So first element is 0 of this second column of matrix P. Now the second element of row 3 is 1. So I'll put a plus sign 1. 1 will be multiplied with the second element of this column. The second element of this column is 2. So 1 will be multiplied with 2. Now I'll multiply row 3 with the column 3. Okay, now the first element of this row 3 is minus 1. The first element of column 3 is 1. I'll multiply them. Put a plus symbol. Second element of this third row is 1. Second element of third column is 1. So that is how I have multiplied all the elements. Now I'm just going to find the result, and this final matrix is of the order 3 by 3. So when I'm going to solve this, 2 ones are 2, minus 1, I'm just solving this. So this becomes 0 plus 2, and then here it becomes 2 ones are 2 plus 1. Here it becomes 3 ones are 3. Okay, 3 ones are 3 minus 2. Then this one, 3 into 0 is 0, plus 2 twos are 4. Then this one, 3 ones are 3 plus 2 ones are 2. This one, minus 1 minus 1, 0 plus 2 minus 1 plus 1. Okay, now this is my resultant matrix. Now when I further solve it, it will give me 1, 2. I'm just solving this. Okay, then this one is 3 minus 2, 1. This is 4. This is 5. This is minus 2. This is 2. This is 0. Okay, so this is my final. Now this is my final matrix of the order 3 by 3. So this is how we multiply two matrices. Now one thing that is, in order to find the order of the final matrix, what we have to do is the final matrix will be of the order in such a way that it will have the number of rows of this final matrix will be equal to the number of rows of the first matrix, that is here it is A, and the number of columns of this final matrix will be equal to the number of columns of the second matrix. Okay. Now basically what I'm trying to say is that we can know the order of the final matrix just by knowing the columns and the rows of the first two matrices. Like suppose I've got a matrix A which is of order 2 by 3, and there is a matrix B which is of order 3 by 2. Okay. Now if you check, if I ask you can these two matrices will be multiplied, so first step that you have to do is you will check whether the columns of the first matrix is equal to the rows of the second matrix or not. Now if you see here 3 is equal to 3, that is the columns of the first matrix is equal to the rows of the second matrix. Okay, that is the columns of the first matrix is equal to the rows of the second matrix, that is 3 is equal to 3. So that first step is verified. Now these two matrices can be multiplied. Now if I ask you, suppose C is the resultant or the final answer of A cross B, that is the multiplication of these two matrices, and if I ask you what is the order of this final matrix which is the result of the multiplication of A cross B, that is A cross B will give us matrix C, and if I ask you what is the order of this matrix, then you will say that you will take the rows of the first matrix and the columns of the second matrix, and this will become the order. So this rows, now this rows over here will be equal to the number of rows of the first matrix, that is 2, and this column over here will be equal to the number of columns of the second matrix, that is B. So that is how you can find out the order of the resultant matrix that you will going to get after the multiplication of the two matrices. So this is about the multiplication of matrices. Now let us see the properties of multiplication of these matrices. So first property is the associative law. Now this multiplication of matrices obeys the associative law. That is, if I have got three matrices A, B and C. Now when I multiply matrix A and B, and whatever result I get, I multiply with the third matrix C, that will be equal to this RHS. That is, when I multiply the matrix B and C, and whatever result I get, that I am going to multiply with matrix A. Okay, so that is how this multiplication of matrices obeys the associative law. Now the second one is the distributive law. Suppose I have again got three matrices A, B and C. Now when I add these two matrices B and C and I multiply with a third matrix A, then I can even write it as A into B plus A into C. Okay. Just like in the second one also, you can see when I add two matrices A and B and I multiply with the third matrix C, then it can be written as A into C plus B into C. Like how you used to do, suppose you have got something like 3 into 5 plus x. Now this is not a matrix, I am telling in general form. Suppose you had something like 3 into 5 plus x. What you can do, your next step would have been 3 into 5 plus 3 into x, right? And then you would have written as 3 into 5, that is 15 plus 3x. So this is how you find the result. Similarly, we do in the case of matrices also, like when we do A into B plus C, we do it as A into B plus A into C. Okay, similarly, if you do as A into A plus B into this third matrix C, it will be it can be written as A into C, for C will be multiplied with this, and then C will be multiplied with this B. Okay, and that is how it is equal. So this is for the associative law and the distributive law. Now the third one is the multiplicative identity. So in this multiplicative identity one, suppose there is a square matrix A. Now what do you mean by square matrix? Now we have learned in our previous video that in a square matrix the number of rows will be equal to the number of columns, that is m is equal to n. So there exists an identity matrix of the same order such that the identity matrix into A matrix will be equal to the matrix A itself. Now basically what they are trying to say is that suppose there is a matrix A which has got elements 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this matrix A should be a square matrix, that is, the number of rows and the number of columns should be equal. So here the number of rows is 2 and the number of columns is 2. So the order of matrix is 2 by 2. Now if I take an identity matrix of the same order, you can see here it is written same order. So if I take an identity matrix of the same order, now as you know that identity matrix will have diagonal elements equal to 1 and rest of the non-diagonal elements will be equal to 0. Okay, so that is what is an identity matrix, and the identity matrix also should be of the same order. So this is an identity matrix. Now when I multiply this A cross I, or when I do I cross A, the final result will be the matrix A itself. That is what they are going to say, that is what they wanted to say in this multiplicative identity 1. Whether I do I cross A or whether I do A cross I, this both are going to be equal to the matrix A only. So this is about the multiplicative identity. So with this we have completed the operation on our matrices as well as their properties, and in the next video we will be solving some questions related to this topic. So if you have any doubts, you can let me know in the comment section below, and if you like this video, please press the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So thank you for watching, and meet you in my next video.